and you will be notified when I have new videos that I add, whether it's live or whether it's a recording that I just uploaded and I do the premiere, okay? No, I'm here. I am on Instagram. I got off Facebook because I saw that nobody was joining. But anyway, I think let's see if YouTube will be a better option. I'm going to post on Facebook now that YouTube it is, okay? Give me 1 second. Let me post it on Facebook, and then I'm gonna start. It's very exciting, very amazing session today. Okay, we're gonna do something very amazing. I already have about at least 2 videos, more than that, because I did each principle. We're gonna do the 10 principles today. Okay, and I remember doing one definitely in 2021. And I remember doing the 10 principles of NeuroGraphica video I did in 22 or in 23. And I actually did each principle separate. You can find a video explaining what each separate principle means, okay? So definitely welcome to watch that video. What I'm gonna do today is, again, a different perspective, a different view, a different way for you to see to understand how NeuroGraphic works through the 10 principles. Okay, lads, I just went live on YouTube, so you're welcome to find it. I'm not sure, I can't share it on Instagram. It doesn't give me an option of, there is no clicking on the link on Insta. So that's what keeps you back from Insta, but you can continue watching and I'll be explaining, or you can go right away to my YouTube channel. Watch me on YouTube and you will be able to see the beautiful graphical presentation that I created, okay? But there will be a part where I'm going to turn my camera and I'm going to show you something, some interesting explanation, some interesting explanation on the paper, okay? So welcome. Okay. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lana Shalom. I am a certified NeuroGraphica instructor and coach, okay? I'm a certified NeuroGraphica instructor and coach since 2018. I have been doing various live sessions and presentations and explanations and live drawing videos on the NeuroGraphica method. I would say probably, actually also since 2018. I thought maybe I did it in 2019. No, the very first video I did created was in 2018. So you will find a lot of interesting information, a lot of relevant, relevant explanation, very contemporary explanation. Every year I do new sessions, new kind of explanations, even of the same concept, okay? Like the 10 principles. In 2021, I did a general video. I did each principle, a video on each principle, explaining it in depth, okay? Then in 2022, actually, no, 2023, last year, I did another video, again, a different perspective. Today, we're going to do something else. Again, the way I explain it is the way I hear it from my teacher, the creator of the method, Pavel Piskaryov. I speak Russian. I came from former Soviet Union. So I learned the method from Pavel himself, and I continue, and that's the main difference between me and many other instructors. Most instructors don't do continuing education. For me, this is an important part, okay? I have a teaching background. I'm a special education teacher. I am a early childhood teacher. I'm a bilingual teacher. So I know in order to be a good, effective teacher, you need to constantly have something we call continuing education. In many states, it's actually a requirement for all teachers to do an annual, educational courses. I do the same thing with the NeuroGraphic method in order to be an effective teacher. And that's what my professional goal to you is, to bring the NeuroGraphic method to you. I am a teacher at heart. I know that's where my talent lies. I love teaching things to you guys, and NeuroGraphic is it. It's an amazing transformational method that I found to be effective in my life, that I know works in the lives of many of my colleagues, many of people around the world, and almost all of my students. Okay, so it's absolutely amazing. Please join, please learn. Even if you watch a little bit, I want to tell you, it will already open up your possibility for something called the law of attraction. Whatever you want in life, you will start seeing opportunities opening up for you to experience the realization of your goal. Okay, let's start it. Okay, and it works on all different levels. Let's start with something we call the 10 principles of NeuroGraphica. Again, these principles were created by none other than Pavel Piskarev himself, the creator of the method. He created the principles, I believe, as he was developing the method in 2014, 2015. In 2016, he started the first cohort, okay, of instructors. But 2014, 2015, he was developing. And I remember thinking 10 principles, I wonder what that's about. Until I started learning, until I started understanding. And the idea here is, of course, the allegory to something we call in the world the 10 Commandments, right? What is the 10 Commandments? Whether you're a religious person or not, anthropologically, historically, religiously, 10 Commandments are the backbone of Western civilization. This is what the ethical and the moral code of the world is based on, okay? And I am, in addition to being a teacher, in addition to being a certified neurographic instructor and coach, I'm also an accredited trainer for the specialist course, which is the most amazing course there is. I advise for everyone to take that course. It's a great way to reacquaint yourself, to learn NeuroGraphic from a different way. I will be talking about the specialist course, and in January will be my focus on the specialist course. Right now, we're looking at the 10 principles of NeuroGraphica from the point of view of the Certified Basic User NeuroGraphica course. And this is an update in 2024. The basic user course is known as the Foundations of the NeuroGraphica method. Okay, and it's interesting to note. So I started to saying that in addition to being a teacher, in addition to being a neurographic instructor, a psychologist, and many, many other things, thank God, I'm also a religious person, and I have a background in learning the Bible, understanding Bible, doing commentary and everything like that. So my religious background is strong enough for me to bring the allegory between the 10 principles and the 10 commandments, the idea. Again, you don't have to be a religious person. If you are, that's great. You will understand more. If you're not, you will still understand a lot, because this is a historical context, okay? The Western world, the idea about the morals, the ethics, the way the judicial system is built, is all based on the 10 commandments. And the idea is that the 10 commandments is the backbone of the world, the way the world operates. Same thing here. I want you to look at the 10 principles as a backbone, as the main philosophical and, kind of psychological understanding of how and why the NeuroGraphic method works, okay? Just like in the 10 commandments, the first 5 commandments are the commandments that deal with the relationship between the human being and God, the higher being, okay? And the second part of the 10 commandments, from 6 to 10, are the commandments that deal with the relationship between one human being to another one, okay? And that's the idea here, the same thing in 10 principles. The 10 principles are, the first 5 principles are the principles that deal with the inner state of the human being. Do you remember we did that a week ago when I was telling you what the word NeuroGraphica is about? how the word neuro connects you to the inner part of who you are, the inner state of who you are. We're going to talk about the word states, the states of mind, the inner states of who you are is going to be the main focus of today's session. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the next 5, the second part of the 5 of the 10 principles. We're going to talk about the outer state of the human being, the social environment, the relationship with others, the way to build yourself within your social environment, how to build relationship with others, right? Because both parts are important to who we are. Both parts are important to the way we are transformed and transforming. Remember, it's both past, it's the present, and the future. I'm not going to say we will transform because that's already understanding from the continuous present, right? Tense. We are transforming our world continuously. Every single second we do this. So I am, give me a second. Let me see what's happening here. Okay, excellent. Let's start figuring out what is happening. Principle number 1. Okay, we're going to go through the 5 principles. Then I'm going to turn my camera. I'm going to show you something very interesting, more explanation through the graphical drawing, okay? Number 1. Now, it's important to know that the first 5, actually all 10 of them, are sequential. Each principle is a kind of a prerequisite for the next principle to occur, okay? And each next principle is built upon the previous principle. For example, principle number 1 says, image integrates meanings. It's about the fact that any image, any visual context, any visual connection we make with anything around us, and that connects us to the 5 senses, that connects us to our vision, to our eyes. Close your eyes, you don't see anything. There is no connection unless you touch. Unless I touch something with my hand, my body does not receive any external stimuli. Actually, in my case, it's also hearing my own voice, okay? But once I open my eyes, it's something we call trigger, because image, whatever I see, will trigger, will bring some meanings within my internal state, okay? Again, looking at the pictures here even, look at the picture on the right, the circles, it brings a certain image. You may be a bit more aware of it now after watching my session I did last week on the alphabet, the neurographic alphabet, where I explained the archetypal importance, the significance, the understanding of what the circle represents, right? And yet we're going to do even more when I'm going to explain to you what colors also represent, right? Also connection to the archetypes, right? Now, if you look at the picture on the left, right? I'm just going to describe what I see, but the connection and association and understanding of the picture will be general will be very individual. The description may be general. Okay, I'm going to describe, I see a lady wearing yellow who's using a huge umbrella as a boat. And she is in the sea or in the ocean. We can see the waves of the water. And also we can see on the right side of the picture, something going from the top, from heaven. It could be rain. Nowadays in the winter, it can also be interpreted as snow, okay? And she's also, now will be a little detail. Some people will notice, some people don't, but she's holding something like a cane, okay? Again, different associations for different people, especially thinking now it's a holiday season. Most people in the Western region, in the Western part of the world, the association with the cane may be an association to Christmas cane, right? For people not from the Western region, it will not be association with the Christmas cane, not necessarily. It may just be a cane. It may be a medical association, something to help somebody walk. We all have individual connection to the way we interpret or integrate the meaning of what we see around us, okay? Looking at the middle picture, what do you see? Do you see lines and circles and numbers and neurolines and color and a piece of the oil pastel here. Or if you are knowledgeable about the system of the 10 Sefirot, then you will recognize this is the tree of life. This is the schematic representation, the graphic schematic representation of the tree of life, okay? But for some people, it may not be. If they're not familiar with it, it will be just a bunch of circles and numbers and lines, some of them connecting to each other, right? Which is your association. This is very deeply individual. This is what forms your internal state. The second part is built upon the first one. We say image integrates meaning, and then we say meanings contain states of mind, which is what I just explained to you, right? It's not just circle and lines over here, but it's actual interpretation. This is the tree of life schematic representation. This is the lady sailing. This is a lady going to her right side. This is circles going up or down, whatever, again, your personal state of mind is. And that will take us to the third principle. Problems actually the creation of our thinking mind. I'm gonna talk more about this specific principle on my paper soon. I want to show you the beautiful images that we have in the presentation first, okay? That will lead, the problems are the creation of the thinking mind is something, when we have the word problem, what automatically starts coming? Our mind, and this has been proven by research, our mind starts looking for the word whenever we hear the word problem or wherever we visually see something that will alert our mind that this is a challenge, a problem. Our mind will start looking for something we call a solution, because every problem has a solution. And this is the way we humans are, kind of wired to look for. Now, some of us, people who went through learned helplessness, is when they were looking for solutions and they couldn't find, we started believing that maybe there is no solution. But automatically, on a very deep subconscious level, our soul, because that's what I'm going to call it, the deep subconscious level is connected to our soul. Our soul knows when there is a problem, there is a solution. In NeuroGraphica, this is how we work. That's why the method works. Once we pose the problem on the paper, we know there is a solution. Our mind will scout the empty paper and will look for solution, okay? And solutions have a bionic quality, meaning solutions are built in, okay? They're natural. Just like it's natural for us to have problems, otherwise I like to call it challenges. Life is about challenges, okay? The same way we have solutions, okay? Solutions have a bionic quality. Solutions are built in, they are innate, okay? If we have a challenge, there is a solution. We just have to look for it and find it. And the amazing part with the NeuroGraphic method is that you can do both. That's the problem. That's the interesting idea, the visualization, the view, seeing your mind. And that's what your subconscious does when we draw NeuroGraphica. We put the challenge in the paper, and then right away, your subconscious scouts the paper, your mind, your vision starts scouting the paper. Where is the solution? Okay. I'm inviting all of you to join me on Thursday also, not just tomorrow where I'm going to explain the second part, but also Thursday where we're going to talk about it. Whenever we look for something, whenever we have a goal, I'm going to show you again an algorithm, a more logical explanation, a more graphical showing and visual aid to help you understand. When we have a wish, when we have a desire, when we have a goal, how can we bring it? What are the elements we must involve in order for us to bring our goal to realization? And the first step to do it is to put it on the paper. To do so visually will give us kind of a hint, kind of, like a map. It's a map to our mind to know the goal, realization of the goal is here. It's imminent. It's here. It's possible. And that's why our life, we start following whatever our mind kind of gives us a map to, okay, GPS signal kind of. And the fifth principle that we have today, right? Solutions have bionic quality, and the solution is harmony, because harmony leads to satisfaction. Okay. Let's talk about it. I want to explain more. I want to give you an understanding, the connection between all 5 of this first part of the 10 principles, okay? The first part of the 10 commandments, as I call it, the 10 commandments of the neurographic method, okay? I'm going to change my camera. Give me a second. Both Instagram and YouTube, okay? Here it is. Here you go. Okay. Let me change the background so you can see my paper. And make it nice and okay. Instagram, I'm just gonna change my camera. I believe you should be able to see me. Okay. Okay, like this, I think is better. Okay. I'm gonna use a marker. Give me a second. Let me take a marker. Okay. Let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about something. Let's start again. Principle number 1, image integrates meanings, okay? Let me show you something, okay? If I draw something like this, right? Okay. Most people, okay, I'm going to say the word most because that's what it is, okay? Most people will integrate the meaning of this image as a female figure, okay? What else can you see here? It's not just a female figure, it's also what? Look what I drew. Remember what a triangle is, right? I'll make a bigger circle like this so it's kind of more, okay? This is a female figure. And what did I add? I added an angle side to it. I added something sharp, something angly, something tangling, right? Something uncomfortable. Whenever we see angles, this signifies to our mind that discomfort may even signify to our mind danger. Why? Because triangles are kind of symbols of change. They're symbols of the fact that change is imminent. Change is, we cannot avoid change. And change to our mind, which looks for safety, stability, okay? That part of our mind is also known as ego. Ego always looks for something to make us feel what? Ego is actually not a bad thing, okay? It has been villainized by the field of psychology, but in general, ego is something that lets us know, our subconscious, our deep subconscious, our conscious part, that look, I am trying to protect you. Ego is this kind of overprotective mother who wants to keep us safe, who wants to keep us comfortable, who wants to keep us from trying to bring changes in life, right? Because changes can be what? Changes can be dangerous. And that's the way ego sees any change. So any possibility for a change will kind of give our ego a signal that danger, danger. And ego will try to do anything we can. In psychology, we call it resistance. I will make a separate session next week, Monday probably. I'm going to talk to you about how resistance works on the brain level, on the mental level, and also how we work with it in the neurographic method, okay? How we work with resistance. The resistance is a fact of life. It's just a part of who we are. This is what our ego, our inner self that's super protective, make sure that we are safe and sound, that there's nothing dangerous, right? Because let's face it, none of us wants to be in any dangerous situation because that's something called survival instincts, right? So anything dangerous, ego gives a signal, and we look for anything and everything that will keep us possibly safe and sound, okay? So this person, right, looks at something, right? The vision, right? Notice I'm drawing something. They see the vision, they focus on something, they focus on another person, okay? And that other person, yep, you're right. I drew another triangle, okay? Now, some of you may look at it and say, oh, right, this is a sign on the bathrooms usually, right? Male, right? Male bathrooms are usually symbolized by this symbol, a triangle with an angle side down. Okay, that single angle side, pointy side down. Female have a pointy side up. Masculine part, men's bathrooms, right, have a masculine side down, right? And for girls, this looks like a dress. For men, this looks like an archetypal view of how we see the male figure, right? Somebody who is strong, somebody who has broad shoulders. Think about all the Hollywood archetypes, the way they use, think about all the actors who played James Bond and all the superheroes, okay? They all follow this archetype. Whenever they hire actors to play superheroes, they usually follow. Especially this is true of James Bond and everybody else, you know, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, those archetypal ones. I mean, it changes a bit now, but still the same people. Actors still are required to work out and have a certain type of a body that brings people to feel safe, feel protected. Because when we see this symbol, we feel we get connected, become connected to our masculine energy, our masculine part, our fatherly energy. The father is supposed to be somebody who protects us. As children, we connect to our motherly side, right? As somebody who can provide us with food, comfort, care, love. And fathers are here to provide for our being, right? They're supposed to earn money. They're supposed to protect us physically, right? And for that, they need to be broad-shouldered. They need to be buff, worked out, and all that stuff, so on and so forth. One second. Let me make sure I see. Give me a second, guys. Let me just kind of, yeah. Okay, just want to make sure that I see that YouTube is working great. Okay. Oh, thank you, Melissa. Thank you for writing. Everyone, I appreciate comments that you leave. I love reading comments. I love hearing from you, and I appreciate being appreciated. So thank you, Melissa, for letting me know. Okay, so interesting. Look at this. She's looking at this, and but notice, by the way, the type of figure I used. I used the triangle, which we know is a sign of discomfort. Okay. So she's looking at this figure, and based, even though it's the visual part, right? She's viewing somebody. I'm going to use a typical example of relationship, right? Relationship between a man and a woman. I'm going to do something traditional here, okay? She sees the guy, okay? Whether it's her husband, whether it's her spouse, whether it's her significant other, whether it's her brother. I'm going to use significant other or a spouse, okay? There's the relationship issues. So she sees this guy, and in her mind, that connects to the issues that happened in her past experience, okay? Something negative happened in her past experience. So she will interpret whatever this person does as the meanings that her states of mind contained. Okay, again, the principle. Image integrates meanings, and meanings contain states of mind. She doesn't just interpret what this person does, but rather what this person does kind of confirms what's been in her mind, that a male figure did something wrong with me, for me, you know, something wrong to me. It could be based on her father experience, could be based on her brother experience, any male, you know, significant authority male, like a teacher, or I don't know, gym teacher, a neighbor, anything, or maybe a previous boyfriend, or, you know, another previous ex-husband or something, right? So if husband came home late from work, she's going to think, why is he late? Did he go somewhere? What was he doing? So one reaction would be, why did you come late? What were you? Where were you? What did you do? Who did you meet? Based on that, one can assume that she had a previous relationship or previous experience. Remember, states of mind. The problem was created in her thinking mind just because she had a previous experience of, I don't know, maybe infidelity, maybe something unpleasant happened, right? Um, Anything. She will use that experience. She will create the problem within her mind. The problem doesn't exist in reality. What she sees is a connection to what her past has told her to think about the present. Okay, this is the present, this is the past. And if she continues the relationship with this person, hopefully it's a future, or if she stops the relationship with this person, then it's not the future with this person, it's going to be another person. But one way or another, the present is highly affected by the way our past shapes our meanings, interpretations. Okay? Interpretation of the present always occurs based on past experience. Meanings we assign to anything happening in our life is always based on past experience. The way we deal, her reaction, either screaming, "Where were you?" or, "Dear, you were late. Are you okay?" Scream or concern, right? "Dear, you were late. Are you okay? Is everything okay? Are you safe? I'm concerned for you." It will be based on her past experience. If her past experience was not a positive one, then she will act negatively. If the past experience was not negative, she didn't have any experience of infidelity or, I don't know, her ex-boyfriend dating her best friend or anything like that. She didn't have a bad experience where, let's say in this case, her significant other, the person of opposite sex, somebody she wants to date or somebody she's dating or married to, did not act in a way where it would make her question his motive for why he's late, she will be okay. She will be showing concern. Okay. But the same thing happens. This, if we look at it from the point of view of psychology, from the point of view of the coaching tool, remember, NeuroGraphica is a coaching tool. If you look at this part as a problem, right? Then what do you want to do? Remember what the mind wants to do? It sees the word problem. It looks for the word solution. Okay, we see the word problem, we want the word solution. The mind will look for the solution. One solution will be screaming, but screaming is not a solution. We all know that. An emotional solution is not, in this specific case, it's not a solution. Okay, an emotional solution would be hugging. That would be emotional. So I shouldn't call it emotional, but rather a negative expression of emotion is not a solution, but we know that will exasperate the problem further, right? It will continue the problem into the future. But we don't want the problem to go in the future. We want a solution. We want and that's the premise of NeuroGraphica, a better future. We want a better future, whatever theme, whatever area of life we're working with. Again, the example I gave you, relationship, it could be anything. It could be money, it could be finances, it could be children, also relationship, right? It could be personal development, spiritual development, professional development, right? If you are looking for a solution, the correct solution will involve positive reaction. Positive reaction involves something else, and this is one of the examples how, remember we said solutions have bionic quality, and then we said harmony leads to satisfaction. Step number 5, the principle number 5. Harmony leads to satisfaction, okay? And I'm gonna re-show the same scenario in different way, okay? Imagine a scenario where we have a human being, okay? Okay. 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 And there is an issue on this side in her future or in her present. And remember, present slowly but surely always turns into a future, right? And future slowly and surely, sometimes too a bit too fast, but it definitely will turn. The future turns into a present. Okay. So those two are kind of unavoidable. They're like an hourglass, right? Remember the sand. Harmony leads to satisfaction. Okay. The way to see any issue is this is the issue. Notice the difference in the graphical representation that I just gave you. Look at the way that I showed you the object, right? The person, you, looking for transformation, looking for satisfaction, looking for solutions and the problems. Notice both are triangular, both are angular, both are angly, tangly, discomfort. Over here are variation, both figures are a variation of the circle, okay? This is an object of any drawing. That's going to be one of the next principles we do, but one of the principles, one of the main ideas with the neurographic is that the object of every drawing is the subject itself, okay? Which means that when we draw neurographica, it's a coaching tool. It's to help us to solve issues in life, to help us find solutions for challenges, okay? We don't have problems. We have challenges, okay? And whenever we have challenges, challenges over here, I guess this would be challenge, okay? And whenever we have challenges, we're looking for solutions. Solutions have a bionic quality. They are innate. Wherever there is a challenge, a solution exists. We just have to look for it. Notice the way I showed you the challenge. It's not triangular. It's a variation of the circle. If you start looking at anything that life brings you, not as a problem, but as a challenge, then right away within your mind, within your subconscious, you will see the archetypal representation of something we call the variation of the circle, right? Look at what I just drew. I like to call this as an amoeba figure, right? Amoeba, if you guys remember from oh, Denise, welcome, dear. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so glad you guys enjoying because I so much enjoyed that Pavel presented it the way that I said right away, I need to present it to others. And that's my calling, right? To pass on the information that I learned from the teacher, from the creator to you guys, my students, not necessarily my students, but also my followers, people who will, A, enjoy it, B, find it practical and applicable to your life. Okay, so definitely enjoy. But notice this amoeba figure, right? It's what? It's a variation on the circle. It's definitely not a triangle, okay? It's actually like taking a neuroline and drawing an oval with a neuroline, right? And it signifies ups and downs, ins and outs of whatever happens in your life. Sometimes your life has an in, right? You wake up and some days you have is like, they're not the best days. They're not the optimal days. We like to call it, they're kind of challenging days, right? And sometimes your life are outer, right? They're this representation of like a perfect circle, okay? Okay, look at this, right? That's, by the way, the magic behind the neural line, because every single curve is a mental representation of the circle. And circle, remember, is comfort, care, love, somebody taking care of me, somebody helping me, somebody helping me find the solutions to every challenge. Learning to see the world as a challenge instead of the problem is halfway finding the solution. And then actually believing, seeing what the principle suggests, that every solution has a bionic quality. Every solution is innate. You have a challenge, there is a solution. Those two are connected, right? They're like, what is it they say in America? Peas and carrots, right? What else? For some reason, I'm kind of lost on those phrases, but yeah, I remember those phrases when they want to show mac and cheese, right? What else? Things that go together, right? And that's the idea, learning to start understanding that things are not necessarily like this. They're not necessarily problems. And problems always, by the way, also notice that the way this triangle looks, it looks the upside down. When we look at the triangle, this is the right way because this is a triangle that shows us growth. We climb up the mountain, we receive the presents, then we climb down, right? Again, those of you who are not religious, you may say, oh, I'm not religious, but guess what? Boys and girls, yeah, Melissa, correct, correct, right? But that's what it is. This, by the way, is an allegory to the biblical story of Moses going to the top of the Mount Sinai to get what? That's right, 10 Commandments, and coming down with two stone tablets, right? We also know them as the tablets. Before the digital tablets, that's what they were known as, right? The original tablets are the 10 Commandments, right? The first five was on one tablet on the left side, the second right. The second five commandments are on the right side, pen and paper, there you go, right? And that's what it is. But when we see a triangle this way, by the way, this sends a wrong message to our mind. This signifies that there is no solution. There is no growth in this triangle. You cannot climb up this mountain. It's unclimbable because climbing up requires this, right? Holding up. How would you climb here? You can't climb up. You would fall down. This one is kind of innate, right? If you try climbing up, you kind of not necessarily falling down, but this one is very steep. You won't be able to climb it up, right? If you ever went hiking, you know what I'm talking about, right? And that's an important part. That's why we need to avoid, that's why we not need, it's a requirement, no drawing triangles in the basic user course, unless you took the neurocomposition course, which I'm inviting everybody to take. It's on sale on my website. It's the cheapest I know with everybody, and I'm doing a refresher course next year. Okay, so welcome before the price goes up. Every time I start doing the refresher, the price will go up. Okay, and that's the idea. The idea is that start seeing challenges as what they are. Challenges are the archetypal figure of something that can turn into what? Remember, what's the symbol of care, love, comfort? It's the circle. Okay. Challengers are shapes that can turn into a circle. Okay. And we do this, by the way, we do this in one of the specialist algorithms, the score. We actually utilize this technique, right? Where we turn the amoeba, this kind of figure. By the way, notice it's not a pleasant figure, but it's not a dangerous figure, okay? It's just not pleasant. Why? Because our mind, our ego, it's actually our ego, okay? The way our mind, children don't have it, adults have it, because by the time we become adults, during the teenage time, we develop something we call ego, okay? And that's a part of ourselves, the sub part, the internal part of who we are that says that I don't want to deal with challenges because they are too hard. Based on our personal individual experience of how we can deal with challenges and how those challenges were overcome, whether we were successful, whether we were accepted, whether we were kind of given credit for our achievement. Remember, this all of these parts are very important for teenagers. Okay, if you have teenagers, pay attention to that. They need to be not just accepted, but they need to be given, they need to be told that they're appreciated, that their accomplishments are significant, because based on that, they will figure out as adults, they will learn whether to take risk and try something new or not. If they haven't receive the message from the world, from the parents and then and other people in their life, that whatever they did was significant, was valued, was important, was appreciated. That's how they will learn that they can benefit the world. So they will continue trying to do that. Okay. So our ego will either keep us completely away from trying new things, or if it's confident enough, it will try new things, but it will still try to keep us from doing it in the most dangerous or the most daring way, okay? Unless we are used to climbing mountains, the first time you climb mountains, you're going to be very careful. Even the second time, even the third time, right? And even if you're a hiker, would you go to climb Mount Everest? No, you need extensive training. The same thing with your mind, the same thing with your ego. The more experience you have at handling, at finding solutions for challenges, turning challenges into solutions, seeing the world as a chance, as a possibility to transform, because challenges are the way we bring transformation into life. Every time we look for the solution, the journey itself, not just reaching the goal, finding the solution, but the journey itself, looking for the solution, okay, is a chance for us to become confident that we can do it. Is a chance for our ego, for our internal state of our mind to learn and say, yes, I can do this. I can be a great parent. I can be a great boss. I can be a great wife, a great sister, a great child, a great parent. I already said parent. What else? Somebody who wears a certain dress a great way. I can find the best vacation spot. What else? Whatever your goal is, I can be a great person to reach financial growth. That's possible. I'm not going to just reach financial growth, but I'm actually going to know it's not just about learning how to earn money, but also knowing how to spend money. Remember that part, okay? The more you do this, and that's the best part about NeuroGraphic, a NeuroGraphic in a visual way. Okay, we're gonna discuss that tomorrow, the second part. But what NeuroGraphic does is showing you, shaping you, training you to see life as what it's supposed to be, what you were supposed to get as a child. Most of us don't get this as a child, okay? Because most of us are raised by parents who have challenges of their own, and they were never taught that what we see around us are challenges, not problems. So when we look for solutions, we're not just walking in the darkness. It's like looking for a black cat in the black room, in the dark room with no lights, right? Oh, Alyssa, it's so nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you, dear. I'm so glad to see you here. But it's about, knowing that even though I walked into a dark room, somewhere, either in my pocket or somewhere in the external, somewhere, someone or you or someone else will turn on the lights or turn on the flashlight, but one way or another, you will find the light. You may be, right? And that's, most religions are based on that. You may be that ray of light that will create light for others. But first, you have to learn to rely on others, and that's what we do as children. We train ourselves to think as ourselves as depending this on the support of others, preferably our parents. Okay, who will show us that, look, I'm your support. I'm here to support you. I'm here to love you. I'm here to accept you. I'm here to give you whatever you need to know that even if you walk into a dark room, even if you see challenges, the solutions are already there. Somebody has an access to the light switch. It could be you, it could be me, it could be anybody around. At one point, the light switch will go on. You just continue looking for your goal, okay? And that's the premise of NeuroGraphica. Find the challenge and know that somewhere on this paper is a solution, okay? I hope you enjoyed today's session. I certainly enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. I'm going to talk about the second part of the 10 principles, the next 5 principles, okay? Where we're going to talk about, today we talked about the internal state, right? The states of mind, how we can view at challenges and solutions internally. Tomorrow we're going to talk how NeuroGraphica actually helps you to do that, how NeuroGraphica aids you, brings you to finding the solutions on the paper, okay? We're going to talk the important parts of why and how it does so. Oops, I didn't turn on the recording. Okay. Thank you for joining me. I'm wishing you to have Let me change my camera. Let me say goodbye to you in person. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. Please write in the comments. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want to hear more. Let me know if you're joining me tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do YouTube. I can see it's more people attending on YouTube and on Facebook. I guess I'm just gonna write the pointers that if you want to see it, then just come to YouTube channel. Okay. Thank you, Instagram. I see somebody was joining me here. I'm wishing you to have a beautiful day ahead. Some of you in Europe, a beautiful night, or other parts of the world, you have nighttime, so enjoy the new night. I hope I inspired you to, if you haven't yet, to try the method of NeuroGraphic. I have a lot of open drawings. Follow my lead, follow the drawings, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. Nice meeting you, 4eyes10. That's what I see. I see your Instagram name. I don't know your name, but thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me, everyone, on YouTube. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, 12 o'clock. I'm going to go on YouTube and Instagram, okay? If I find my other phone, I may even do a live Facebook, okay? Let's try spreading this method to everyone. Join me, join more for the basic user course, join the specialist course, start learning the method, start using the method to transform your life, start spreading this beautiful method with others. By the way, yesterday was Pavel Piskaryov, the creator of the NeuroGraphic method birthday. So happy birthday, Pavel. I would like, on behalf of myself and everyone present here, all my students, I want to thank you and I want to wish you happy birthday. Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy your ride.